Good morning. We'll let everybody have a minute to come in and join us, and then we'll get this week going. I hope you're all ready to tackle the week. Good morning, my friend. How are you feeling this morning? Been thinking about you, talking about you to you-know-who. Get my computer going here. Good morning, JJ. Oh, I got my coffee. I got my notes. I am ready to go. I'm sore too, Lisa. I'm still sore from the 5K that we did on Saturday. Was the one that was a hike, and part of it had 280 something, 289, I think it was, steps, and I didn't realize how much I was using my calf muscles until the next morning. I woke up, sometime during the night to go to the restroom, which I do every night. I think it's age. And oh my goodness, my calves were so sore. And so Sunday and yesterday, they were still sore. So I had to do a lot of walking to try to, walk out the soreness of those muscles. But anyway, it was worth it. And I know that my soreness doesn't compare at all to yours. And I'm not even trying, but just know that you're in my prayers. Good morning to the rest of you coming in. I'm sitting here having this private conversation. Welcome. I have some, let's see, what time is it? Yeah, it's 7:01. Okay, we'll get started. I have some business matters to cover before we get into our subject. First and foremost, I want to thank you all who participated in our 5K. I said it on the board, and I just can't even begin to tell you how tickled I have been all weekend watching your pictures coming in. I hope you realized, and I confess, a huge part of my purpose in doing this was to get you to see that you're capable of so much more than you thought you were. It especially just made my heart so happy to see the post from those of you who said, I didn't think I could do this. And then you did. And many of you did it more than once, or you did more than the 3 miles. And that's going to lead into our subject here in a minute, but just remember that. Just remember that you are capable of so much more than you gave yourself credit for. The other thing is I want to remind you that, yes, it is still hot in Big D, Carol, and it's going to get hotter. I think we're going to hit triple digits this week, and it's not even June yet. Anyway, I want to remind you that videos of your activity, encouraging yourself and others to be active, must be 1 minute or shorter. If they're longer than 1 minute, they'll be deleted. And it's not because we don't care, and it's not because we don't want to see them, and it's not because we don't appreciate your time in doing them, but just understand that the moderators have to watch every video to make sure that it's not a violation of our rules. And so with 78,000 of us, if even a fraction of us posted videos, especially long ones, the moderators wouldn't have time to do anything but watch those. So not discouraging you at all from posting your videos. We enjoy watching them, but just make sure that they're shorter than 1 minute, and that they have to do with motivating and encouraging somebody to be active in their Weight Watchers journey. Okay, deal? All right. Yesterday, or day before yesterday, I think it was, I posted the information about our Labor Day challenge that will start on Friday. And there were one or two that were opposed to challenges, and I understand that, and I just want to stress to you that anytime we do a challenge here, it's completely optional. You are not required to participate. I understand that not everybody is motivated by challenges, and that's okay, but many of us are, and so we will continue to do challenges as long as I'm here, because I'm very challenge driven. And so if you don't want to participate in a challenge, or you don't think challenges are necessary, or you don't even think that challenges are a good idea, that's your right to think that way, and it's also your right to say so, as long as you do it kindly and in a positive way. Otherwise, I don't know a nice way to say just keep it to yourself. But many of us are motivated by challenges, and so we're going to keep doing them. So there, that's that. Got that out of the way. And speaking of challenges, one more thing. If you happen to be a member of this group and you are contacting other members of the group by private messenger without their consent, you will be deleted from the group. We've had one or two in the last week that are kind of trolling, and that's not permissible. So just know that if you joined the group with the intent of finding you a special friend by private message, once it's reported to me or one of the moderators, you will be removed from the group. We're not, that's not our purpose, and so we're not going to do that. So anyway, that's it. Okay. Speaking of challenges, well, I'll do this. I'll come back to that. Subject for today. I hope you're ready. This one, I've been excited. I've been thinking about it for about 2 weeks now, and it's just kind of been churning in my heart. So are you ready? Here we go. Who told you that? Last week, my thought to you was, is that all it took? Well, maybe my challenge to do the 5K was all it took to convince you that you were capable of doing so much more than you gave yourself credit for. So kind of the flip side of that is our subject this week. Who told you that? Sometimes we tend to come on our group board here, or we go to our Weight Watchers meeting, or we talk to people we work with, or maybe family members, and we take the advice or the answer of someone that we shouldn't be listening to. For instance, I'll see people come on and they might say, why do I have to count points for fruit? Okay, well, people start answering, and a lot of the answers refer you back to the science behind Weight Watchers' official answer. But I'll see also, people will post, well, I don't follow that, or I don't subscribe to that, or I don't agree with that, or I've even seen some really far-fetched answers that I'm not really sure where that theory came from. But my word of caution to you is, when you're asking for advice or you're asking for answers about how to be successful on your Weight Watchers journey, be careful who you're listening to. Make sure that it's someone who has a proven track record. I would hope you wouldn't take advice on how to build a house from someone who's never built a house, or someone who hasn't built a house that's still standing. I would hope that you wouldn't take advice on how to repair your car from someone who's never worked on a car, or whose car isn't running well. I would hope that if you were going to cook a recipe, you would ask for that recipe from someone who makes it very well. There are lots and lots of recipes out for, let's say, Thanksgiving dressing. Well, if I want my dressing to taste like my mother's dressing, which I think was the very best, then I need to ask advice from somebody who makes really good dressing, not just somebody who happens to have a recipe or happens to have read a cookbook. So get your advice from someone who has a proven track record. The other one is ask and listen to someone who has your best interest at heart. Not everyone who answers your question is doing it to try to help you. Some people just feel the need to answer. They just feel the need to put their opinion out there, but their opinion may not be in your best interest. So just because they answered you doesn't necessarily mean you need to listen to them. Does that make sense? Okay. The other one is, what's their purpose in answering you? What's their purpose in giving you advice? Is it really to help you? We do that to ourselves too. Let's go back to the 5K. How many of you told yourself that you couldn't do it? When I first offered this challenge several weeks back and told you that we were going to do that on Memorial Day weekend, I'm curious how many of you immediately told yourself, well, I can't do that one because I can't walk a 5K. But you did it. So who told you that you couldn't walk a 5K, and why did you listen to them? There's a Christian song that says, "The voice of truth tells me a different story. The voice of truth says, do not be afraid." We need to learn to listen to the voice of truth. And truth is that you can do so much more than you're giving yourself credit for. Truth says there's scientific evidence to support the Weight Watchers plan. Now, of course, we're all different and our bodies react and respond differently. So while I may be able to eat a particular food and lose weight, you may not be. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is the people who say, well, I don't care what the Weight Watchers science says. I don't believe that, so nobody should believe it. Okay, well, you can choose not to believe it, but I always tell people, do it Weight Watchers way first and do it 100%. And then if it stops working and you're really doing it 100%, then we can look at it and see if there's something that needs to be tweaked. But don't start tweaking just because Susie around the corner started tweaking it. You do it the way it's written, and you listen to the voice of truth that says it works this way. You can prove and you can learn by listening to the voice that has your best interest at heart. We have lots and lots and lots of members on this board that really want to help and that really have some good advice. But when you ask a question and people respond, before you just jump on board with their theory and go off track, decide, okay, why am I choosing to listen to this person? Is it because they're giving me the answer I want to hear? Or is it because they've proven that this answer they're giving me really works? I think we just get derailed too easily by listening to the wrong people. So my challenge to you this week is, who are you listening to? Before you change something, before you stop doing something, or before you add something in to the Weight Watchers plan, ask yourself, should I be listening to that person? Should I be taking their advice? What is their purpose? What are they getting out of it? Ask somebody who knows what they're talking about, who has your best interest at heart, and who has proven that their advice is worth following. If you'll do that, I think you'll find that you'll be seeing a lot better results than if you just listen to everybody who has an opinion. I have had the privilege of leading several Weight Watchers meetings, and it always amazes me the conversations that I hear in the meeting and before the meeting. You know, people saying, "Oh, well, I tried this new recipe and it's really good, and I lost weight following it this week." And I just kind of privately listen to them talk, and I think, okay, well, they haven't told you how many points are in that recipe. They haven't told you what else they're eating. They haven't told you what their activity level was. So before you go off thinking that, okay, well, if I eat that recipe this week, I'm going to lose weight too, you got to get the whole story. So be careful who you listen to, and listen first and foremost to that little voice that's in our head that tells us, I don't think you should be doing that, or you can do it. Just because 3.1 miles seems long, you can do it. You just proved to yourself that you're capable of doing a 5K frequently. And you may have thought just a few days ago that you couldn't do it at all. So, having said that, I'm really excited to tell you that we are going to do another 5K challenge the week of July 4th. And we're going to call it Freedom 5K for Weight Watchers Over 50. There will be a t-shirt launch today. I believe later today is what Linda told me. So be watching for that. I don't do the t-shirts. I learn about it just, like you do. But be watching for the announcement on the board about that. And I'm going to encourage you the week of July 4th to do exactly what we did this weekend. Let's get some steps in. Let's flood the board with our pictures proving it, and let's do it for freedom. Freedom for our country, first and foremost, in support of and in honor of the people who gave their lives for our freedom, and also to prove that we are free from that voice that tells us we can't do it. If you weren't able to do the 5K this weekend, hopefully you'll be ready by the week of July 4th and will be able to join us. But I'm super excited about it. I think you've just spent a couple of days proving to yourself and listening to yourself to prove that you can do so much more. So be watching the board today for the information on how to participate in that 5K. I think we'll set it up as an event. Then the Labor Day Challenge starts Friday, and I will pin that post to the top of the page so that you can keep up with it, and I hope to see many of you joining me. I think it'll be a great motivator for those of us who are motivated by challenges. Again, if you're not, we understand, and you certainly don't have to. So those are my announcements. That's my encouragement for you this week. Be very, very, very careful who you're listening to, and you'll be a lot better off. And if you, reaching for my trash, if you get active and involved, you have so much to gain from it. And Lisa's going to be our #1 cheerleader, and we're all praying for improvement in your health, Lisa. Just know that you have 78,000 really good friends who are fighting for you. I should organize a real 5K in Dallas. If I knew how to do that, I would totally do it. If any of you know how to do it, if any of you know how to organize a 5K, and it's one that we could do in multiple sites, multiple cities, please private message me. I have an idea and I would love somebody to take it and run with it. I have more on my plate than I know what to do with. But with so many of you out there, somebody surely knows how to do it, and I would love your help. We can put a committee together, but I just need somebody to head it up, to take that ball and run with it. Let's see, I'm gonna look real quick and see if I can answer. I've got a couple of minutes before I have to get started on my work day. Teresa says she's motivated to try to do a 5K once a week, and my hair is super cute. Thank you, Lee. Thank you, Teresa. I think we can all do a 5K at least once a week. Some of us can do one a day. If you really apply yourself, you can do it. And thank you for my hair. The blonde was not working for me, and my husband didn't like it at all, so I had to go back. This is kind of somewhere between my natural color and the blonde, so he likes it better, and it wasn't as shocking. So thank you. I appreciate it. I got several comments on my 5K post about it. JJ, I'd love to have a 5K in Kansas City, Missouri, or Rochester Hills. I would love to see them all across the United States, and I just don't know how to organize it. But I have a really important, good idea. If somebody is interested in trying to tackle it, I'd love to hear from you. So just send me a private message, and we'll see if we can get that figured out. That would be awesome, and it would serve a really good purpose. If you can't do a 5K, join the cheerleader team. Absolutely. I'm sure that Lisa would love to have some more cheerleaders helping her cheer on this great group. So, and again, if you can't walk it, but you can ride it, great. If you can't do that, but you can swim it, great. If you can't do it all at once, but you want to do it over the 4th of July week, just keep track of it. And we don't have hard and fast rules. So yeah, however you can do it, you can do it. Just do it. Like Nike says, just do it. Okay, I'm going to get off of here and get to work and let you get your day started. Just remember the announcements. Keep your videos to 1 minute or less. If you don't want to participate in a challenge, you don't have to be negative and voice it. Just don't participate. That's okay. And if you want to participate in the 5K challenge, just be watching the board later today for the information on that. Labor Day challenge starts Friday, and I posted about that, I think, on Sunday, so you can search Labor Day challenge in the search bar and find the information on that. And other than that, just be careful who you listen to this week. And if it's you that you're listening to, be sure that you have your best interest at heart and that you're giving yourself good advice. All right? I'll talk to you later. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the board. Bye, folks.